Check, check, check. Hey, podcast friends. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast, and your host, Angela Shurina, certified nutritionist, health, nutrition, brain productivity coach, and just someone with a lot of passion for helping you guys to learn how to use nutrition and lifestyle tools, different behaviors to feel, do, and look your absolute best, guys. And it's all, of course, related, right? How we feel, how we look, and what we do with that. It's all related. Our body, our brain, what foods we put into it, what behaviors we do on a daily basis. It all matters for the outcomes that we get in our life, how our days feel and how we feel about ourselves. Guys, today I'm in my new place, first day. I'm not sure, probably temporary. As a digital nomad, and I haven't had a home for the past, I think already 11 years. In a digital nomad life, there are a lot of things changing, right? The beauty of this life is you get to meet so many people and visit so many places and learn from so many different cultures, so many languages you get to hear, and so many different perspectives on life, on health, on food. It's just mind-boggling. It's probably one of the best life schools, the amount of things about life and people you learn. But also digital nomad life is and might be challenging at times, like finding a good place, the one that has good internet. Most digital nomads work online. The one that has good light, that has good vibe, good air, good bad. There's so many things. And that's why moving, even though I love traveling and living as a digital nomad, but I also hate moving. So not sure about this place yet where I am. And also the sound of the microphone and the setup for podcasts, it's all a little bit different. So bear with me if something is off or you hear my fridge that is not far from me. That's just, the digital nomad's life details. You never know what you get and where your fridge is going to be with this annoying sound. But besides that, guys, today is Monday and we're talking about motivation. Yesterday was May 1st. Today is May 2nd, right? I hope you already wrote down your goals, direction of your actions, of your behaviors, of your life for the next months. Guys, our brain is that target goal-seeking machine. And whenever it doesn't have any goal, it will find something to work on, right? And those might not be necessarily the things that you actually want to work on or move forward, right? Your brain will start ruminating on things. If you don't have a target, if you don't give a target, a goal to your brain, it's like you're wasting so much resource. The abundant resource that could be used to seek out new ways of building the life that you want to live, right? So take some time, even if it's just 10-15 minutes, put some words on paper. That works the best when it comes to making sure that your brain understands that this is what you're trying to achieve. This is the vision. This is what's important to you. Put it on paper. And most importantly, put things that will lead towards your goals, your visions. Put them on schedule. Because we all have 24 hours a day and your time will pass one way or the other. And more often than not, if you don't have things on your schedule, you're just going to waste a lot of time. At least that's been true in my life. Whenever I'm not good with scheduling my things, whenever I don't put them on schedule, and whenever I don't have goals that require consistent actions every single day, I just start wasting a lot of time because it's decision every time. What do I do this morning, this afternoon, this evening? When you have a goal and you have actions that you need to take, you just bam, bam, bam. You figure out where to put it in your schedule and how to optimize the rest of your life to make progress on these goals. And guys, the goals are also there not to necessarily achieve them every single time because there are so many things that are not in our control, but to have the direction and to have the ability to make choices much easier and prioritize things. That's probably the only true reason for having goals. It gives you direction and it simplifies your choices. When you know what's important to you and where you want to move, you make choices easier, right? If I want to be in my best health and fitness, then a lot of choices about food, movement, and my schedule, they are automatic. Like, do I stay up late? No, unless it's super important. Do I eat some junk whenever I'm going through stressful times? No, because that's not my priority. And I know that's long-term not going to make me feel good. The next day you're going to not feel that great. So having goals, having directions, again, it's not necessarily to hit that goalpost every single time, but to have a direction and to make priorities easier. So spend some time. Write down your goals, your directions, and put things on schedule that you need to do, you need to work on in order to move into that direction. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about, I promised you the episode on team motivation, or how to motivate other people, not just yourself, but other people. A lot of people are struggling with motivating themselves because usually they don't take time to figure out what's important to them and what they actually truly want to work on, what's going to bring meaning into their life, right? A lot of motivation comes from there. And also just having a goal will give you a lot of dopamine release in your brain, that molecule of goal, of achievement, of going after challenging tasks. So whenever you have a goal and your brain sees it and understands the reward, that's where you get a lot of dopamine and you get a lot of motivation naturally. And when you don't have any direction, obviously you're not going to get any dopamine because your brain is like, why bother? There is no reward, let's just sleep in. That's another factor in motivation. But to motivate others, your team, especially remote team, especially people who are not really in your close environment, your proximity, to motivate other people, guys, well, first a story. I was talking to a founder here in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and he told me, Angela, I'm so pumped, so motivated about my business, and I just go, go, go. But my team, they're kind of they do their work, they're pretty good, but they don't feel that fire. I don't feel that they're motivated by the vision, by the work. And I tell them that you work better, you make more sales, you make more money, you have all the freedom, you can have more time, you can travel the world, all these amazing things that I love. I told them, but it doesn't seem to work for them. It's like, why isn't it working? And the reason why it's not working, guys, is because he told them what's important to him. He described all the bonuses and benefits of what he values, right? What he really loves about his life for one reason or the other. But you see, motivation, internal motivation, it comes from our own reasons. He never asked his team, what's important to you? Like, why do you come to work? What's important to you in life? Why do you work at all? What are you trying to achieve here? What's important to you? And how can we work together to improve that's what's important to you, right? To help you to do your best work. You never ask them. And a lot of leaders, surprisingly, they never ask their team members, like, what's important to you? What are you trying to do here? What are you optimizing for? What do you truly value in your life? And sometimes people, your team, won't even know the answers, but the questions will help them to figure that out and find their drive. And yes, sometimes they're gonna leave their job, but then you'll find people who are actually gonna be passionate about what you do, your vision, and they will deliver much more value. And they will be passionate and pumped about that vision, delivering the best work when they can, dedicating as much energy as they have, right? So to motivate others, first, we gotta not put ourselves in their shoes, because we're putting ourselves with our motivations, with our beliefs, our goals, our history. No, we need to ask them, what's important to you? And not like, in some judgy way, or so people feel insecure that they might lose their job. No, like really try to create a safe place and then ask them, what's important to you? Why do you come to work? How can we make it better for you? What's going to make this work better for you? And you might be surprised what you hear. You'd think for people, for example, for whom family life is important, you think, well, more money will help them to help their family or provide for their family better. But maybe that more money in the short term steals a lot of time with their family. And so, what you promise is kind of distant, but their family life going to suffer now. Like, why would they do that, right? There is much more depth in our motivation than we think. So the takeaway is, if you want to motivate your team, you got to have these conversations. And it might sound inefficient, meaning you have to spend time. But guys, in life, only inefficient things will provide those amazing results. When we connect with our humanity and humanity in others, that's where we'll start delivering amazing results and seeing improvements and reaching our goals and transforming ourselves and others. You can't automate humanity. And if you want to feel people around you, your team, motivated, you need to connect to their humanity, not to do some survey. Like, what's important to you? You actually need to have a conversation. And that's important. That's what I've also been learning, working on my coaching skills. You can't just run a survey. People will fill it in just for the heck of it, in 5 seconds without thinking about it. But when you actually talk to them, there is a chemistry. There is another thing happening. So if you want to motivate your team and people around you, talk to them. Don't rush it. Create safe space or listen to them. Don't put yourself in their shoes because it's still you. Try to understand them. And all of us are unique, and their perspective, their values are not going to be yours. And you might be surprised to hear what's actually important to them. So motivation. Motivate others, motivate yourself. And also, if you at times feeling not motivated, then connect to your own values and meaningful things. Like, what's important to you and why the thing that you are about to do, that you need to do, feels like a drag, something that's really not motivating. Figure it out. Connect it to your soul's mission, purpose, and meaning. And that's where you'll find infinite internal source of motivation. And that's how, people like Elon Musk just go, because he has internal drive, motivation, goal, value. He wants humanity to be multi-planetary species because he truly believes that that's what's important for us to survive as species. Or, electric cars, because we need a greener planet, because we need to preserve this earth. That's what drives him. And until his vision is complete, and it's probably not going to be complete in his lifetime, he's never going to sleep, because that's, his major drive. So find what's your meaning, and what's value, and what are values and meanings of the people who you work with, your team or people around you. And then you can have a much better interaction, and you can do amazing projects together, and you can develop amazing relationships, and a lot of great things will come out of that if you take the time to have those deeper conversations. And that's about it for today, guys. Monday podcast, all about motivation, neuroscience based and very practical. As a coach, any coach, I'm a coach, there are a lot of coaches. We are in the business of helping people to change. And this is an art form, and you're never finished learning. And more these days, I'm learning that you gotta dig deeper if you wanna help people to transform on a deeper level. You'd say, duh, Angela, but we often understand things, but we don't act on them the way we need to act. So dig deeper, ask deeper questions, try to understand other people before you try to motivate them or do something together. And from my experience, you'll get much better success rate, right? And have an awesome week, guys. You're going to hear from me tomorrow and many days from today. And let's make this month amazing. Write down your goals, your directions, and put action steps on your schedule and take actions. And there is no limit to what you can achieve. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Share this episode with anyone who might need motivate themselves or people around them, their teams, especially if they're working on some inspiring visions and goals. Share, and till next time, as usual, eat better daily.